This story is coming out of Wisconsin and it was sent to me by Caressa. And this is definitely a white on white crime story right here. So in this picture, you see two people by the name of Travis and Adriana Christensen. Um, he is her father, or should I say he was her father, and she was his daughter. Because this man did one of the most cowardice things that anybody could do to their child, and that was murder them. But it's the way that he did it. Not only did this guy simply murder his daughter, but he murdered her while she was in the bathtub. He didn't drown her. He went into the bathroom where she was in, like, I guess, bathing and stabbed her to death. I don't know the reason as to why he did it, but we're gonna find out. And I think that's the craziest thing because when you're in the bathroom like in a bathtub or taking a shower, that's one of your most vulnerable positions because one, you're immersed in water, and two, you have no clothes on, so you really can't defend yourself if something happens. And you make one wrong move, you're gonna fall, you might hit your head, or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this article. It says a criminal complaint alleges that a Wisconsin father accused of stabbing his teenage daughter to death attacked the helpless girl in the bathtub, where police found the teen lying wounded in bloody water. The complaint accuses Travis Christensen, a Madison Elementary School custodian, of murdering his biological daughter. Sorry about that. I have to start from a certain position. I don't know what the hell just happened. My computer just froze up on me. But anyway, it says the complaint accuses Travis Christensen, a Madison Elementary School custodian, of murdering his biological daughter, identified by the medical examiner's office as 13-year-old Adriana Christensen. The motive for the grisly attack is not clear, although the complaint does say the mother asked the father shortly before whether they should sell the couple's house instead of refinancing it. She told officers that the selling the house would lead to separation. The complaint says the bloody attack occurred when the mother went to the grocery store to get more beer for Christensen, whom she said was already intoxicated and preparing to drive to the store. Well, that definitely was not the best thing to do. Now we know that this guy most likely has an alcohol problem, and they're probably going to try to blame that as to why he did it. I hope they don't use that as the primary source because that means he won't get that much jail time. When police arrived at the single-family home, they discovered the frantic mother outside bleeding from wounds to her arm. She said her daughter was in danger inside the house, and when police entered, they found the girl in the tub with multiple injuries. They could have just said multiple stab wounds unless there was a struggle and, like a fight, and she probably got bruising. It says, according to police, the homicide occurred around 9 p.m. on July 30th inside a single-family residence in the 3000 block of Dorchester Way. The criminal complaint charges Christensen, age 44, with first-degree intentional homicide, use of a dangerous weapon, and attempted first-degree intentional homicide, use of a dangerous weapon, with domestic abuse assessments. After receiving a 911 call reporting a stabbing, officers quickly arrived at the home and began searching for the 13-year-old girl. They found her in the bathtub in the second-floor bathroom. She was face down with her back facing toward the ceiling and her face submerged underwater in blood. Adriana had wounds all over her body, including her upper chest, arms, and neck. They were consistent with being stabbed or cut. The girl also had a very deep wound in the upper chest area. Police used a chest seal to help seal it. She also had a large cut on her neck near her jugular area. Despite life-saving measures by both police and paramedics, she was pronounced dead at 10:47 p.m. The teen had stab and cut wounds to the head, neck, torso, and extremities. Multiple injuries were consistent with defensive wounds. The majority of the injuries were on the right side of the face, right chest, and right abdomen. Like, this guy was going in on his own daughter. Like, you hear all these stab wounds she had. Like, he literally hacked her up damn near. An initial news release from the Madison Police Department said that MPD responded to a single-family home in the 3000 block of Dorchester Way for a report of a person being stabbed. The release continued. One of the victims was transported to a local hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. One victim died on the scene from their injuries. The suspect was taken into custody and also transported to a local hospital for evaluation. The three involved parties are known to each other and there is no ongoing threat related to this incident. The violent crime unit is now leading the investigation. I'm not going to read the next part, but it just goes on to talk about this man's wife and how she was attacked when she had returned from the grocery store, because it did say that she had non-life-threatening wounds, and they were talking about the wife. And then this thing right here, this is crazy. But alcohol, any type of alcoholic beverage, was the last thing this guy needed. And they said he was already intoxicated. But he literally hacked his daughter to death, when you think about all the places that he stabbed her at. And then they said that there were defensive wounds, which means the girl was trying to fight back. But of course, you know, you're going against this grown man who's intoxicated and has a knife in his hand versus a child who's in water. Like, there's really nothing that you're going to, that's like a losing battle right there. But, you know, like, here's another story I'm sure mainstream media is probably going to overlook because, well, of the obvious, unless it's local news affiliates that's probably going to mention it. Other than that, they're not going to talk about it, although they should, considering the level of gruesome and, you know, the graphic nature of this story right here. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, to be quite honest. Just reading that was just like I said, it was just gruesome all the way around. But like I said, the last thing this guy needed was any type of liquor or any type of drink that had alcohol in it, especially since he was already drunk, clearly. And once he got a hold of that knife, he went to work. Now, that's the crazy part, is they don't know what the motive was for him to just snap on his daughter like that. Like, it's almost as if he wanted to take his frustrations out on the wife. Kind of did, but wasn't successful in killing her. So he went and he killed the daughter because maybe the daughter reminded him so much of his wife. So I wonder, like, which did she look like her mother? Like, when he looked at her face, did he see the mother, or was it because, you know, they're both female? But who knows really what it is. But with those charges, I can almost assume he's definitely going to get some type of life sentencing for his crime.